If you're a bird owner, you know the feeling. You walk down that pet store aisle and you're just hit with this wall of supplements, all of them promising perfect feathers, stronger bones, a happier bird. But you have to wonder, are they actually helping? Or could they even be harmful? Well, today we're going to dig in and sort out the facts from the marketing hype.
And this quote right here, from an avian vet, it just cuts right to the heart of the whole problem. The reality is that the typical seed-heavy diet many birds are on, well, it's kind of setting them up for failure. It's missing the absolute basic building blocks for good health, especially something as critical as calcium. And this isn't some rare thing. He's saying it's one of the most common issues vets see.
Which, of course, leads us to the big question. When you see your bird might be missing out on something essential, your first instinct is to reach for a supplement to fix it. But is that a smart, quick fix? Or is it a shortcut that could cause even bigger problems down the road? That's the puzzle we're going to try to solve together.
Okay, so first up, we've got to understand what we're actually trying to fix here. We're not talking about a bird that just feels hungry for more seeds. No, this is a much deeper, sort of hidden hunger. It's their body crying out for essential nutrients that a simple seed diet just can't provide. Let's take a look at what this hidden hunger really does to a bird.
One of the biggest culprits is something called hypovitaminosis A. That's just the fancy medical term for a vitamin A deficiency. And believe me, it is incredibly common. You see, vitamin A is absolutely crucial for keeping a bird's skin, their feathers, and especially their respiratory system healthy. It's like the gatekeeper for their immune system, their first line of defense against getting sick.
And when that defense system fails, this is what it can look like. And I want you to really look at this list. These are not small problems. We're talking about white spots inside their mouth, strange clicking sounds when they breathe, crusty, blocked-up nostrils. These are all signs that a body is in serious distress. For some birds, like African greys, it can even lead to seizures, or for female birds, a life-threatening condition called egg binding. These symptoms are a clear cry for help.
All right, so we've established there's a real problem. The question now is, how do we solve it? And this brings us right into the middle of a huge debate in the world of bird care. It really pits two totally different philosophies against each other, fixing the problem with real food versus relying on man-made formulas. This really breaks down the dilemma perfectly. On one hand, you can see the appeal of supplements. They're super convenient, and they let you target specific, high-stress times, like when a bird is breeding or going through a tough molt. But on the other hand, the food-first people argue that if a diet is truly balanced, it shouldn't need any supplements at all. They say adding them just covers up the real problem, and worse, you run the risk of an overdose.
And let's be honest, the pro-supplement argument is really tempting. The market is just flooded with these specialized products, right? You can find a vitamin mix to help with breeding, an amino acid blend for a rough molt, probiotics for digestion. It feels like you have this whole arsenal of tools right at your fingertips to perfectly fine-tune your bird's health. But then the food-first camp comes back with this, and it's a powerful point. They see supplements as a band-aid, not a cure. The argument is that you can't just sprinkle some magic powder on a bad diet and expect it to become healthy. In their view, the only real long-term solution is to build that diet on a solid foundation of nutritious, balanced, whole foods from the start. This whole debate gets even more intense when we start to look at the dark side of all this, because it's not just about what your bird might be missing, it's about the very real danger of accidentally adding too much of a good thing, which can create a whole new set of scary health problems.
The official term for it is hypervitaminosis. It's literally what happens when the level of vitamins or minerals in the body becomes toxic. This is the classic definition of too much of a good thing. A bird's body can only use and process so much, and any excess, especially if fat-soluble vitamins like A and D, gets stored up in organs like the liver and kidneys, where it can do real damage. And the results of that damage, they're terrifying. We're talking about things like weird neurological spasms. You might hear people talk about toe tapping or wing flipping, where the bird has no control over its movements. And internally, it gets even worse. An overdose of something like vitamin D3 can cause kidney failure and lead to this horrifying thing called mineralization, where calcium deposits literally start to harden the soft tissues inside the bird's body.
This quote from Bird Tricks just says it all. You know, when your bird is sick, your first instinct is to do anything and everything you can to help. But what this tells us is that blindly adding supplements can actually create a whole new, and maybe even more dangerous, layer of problems on top of the sickness they already have. It is a massive risk that we just have to take seriously.
So with all these risks, does that mean every supplement is bad? Not at all. It just means we need to stop thinking about this as good versus bad and start thinking about it strategically. There is a smart way to do this. This right here, this is probably the single most important idea to take away from all of this. Supplements are not a magic wand. They cannot transform a bowl of dry seeds into a healthy meal. Their real proper role is as a targeted tool that you use to support a diet that is already built on a strong, nutritious foundation.
So that leads us to a really clear 4-step strategy. Step 1, and it's the most important, build that foundation with a fantastic diet full of whole foods. Then 2, you observe your bird. Are they going into breeding condition? Are they laying a lot of eggs? 3, and this is non-negotiable, you consult your avian vet. They're the only one who can run tests and confirm if there's actually a deficiency. And only then, step 4, do you use a specific supplement to target that diagnosed need, not as a just-in-case thing you do every day.
You see, everything we're talking about comes back to one simple truth. The absolute best supplement you can ever give your bird is just an excellent diet. So let's look at what that foundation is actually made of.
For just a second, forget about all the little bottles and powders. Your bird's most powerful line of defense against getting sick isn't in a medicine cabinet. It's sitting right there in their food bowl, every single day.
So how do you give them that crucial vitamin A without the risk? Simple. You let their body do the work. All these brightly colored foods, carrots, sweet potatoes, dark leafy greens, they're packed with something called beta-carotene. The bird's body then converts only what it needs into vitamin A. It's this amazing, natural, self-regulating system that makes a dangerous overdose pretty much impossible.
And what about calcium, that mineral that so many seed diets are missing? Well, again, the best and safest way is to offer natural sources. Dark greens are a fantastic start, but things like a cuttlebone, a mineral block, or even some crushed cooked eggshells in a separate bowl, that empowers your bird to self-regulate. They take exactly what they need, only when their body tells them they need it.
So, we end on this thought. Supplements can have a place, but it's a very specific one. It's a supporting role, guided by a vet for a specific reason. The real heavy lifting of building good health happens in that daily bowl of food. So after this, go take a good hard look at what you're offering. Is it a vibrant mix of whole foods, or is it relying on a powder to do the work? The answer to that question could make all the difference in the world.